First one, the Arch KRG T1. You've probably already guessed who's behind it. Keanu Reeves co-founded the company, and before you roll your eyes and assume it's a celebrity vanity project, look at the bike. Billet aluminum construction, carbon fiber accents, suspension that costs more than most used cars. Fact, every single KRG T1 is partially custom built for the person buying it. No two are exactly the same, so when a tech founder in Malibu pulls up next to a hedge fund guy in Greenwich, they're not riding the same bike, they're riding their bike. That's the pitch. It feels less like a motorcycle and more like a boutique supercar with two wheels. And that's why the waiting list looks the way it does. The Ducati Superleggera V42. Ducati basically asked themselves, what if we built a street bike using actual MotoGP technology? Then they did it. The frame is carbon fiber, the wheels are carbon fiber, the swing arm is carbon fiber. Pretty much everything that can be carbon fiber is. The result is a bike so light and so powerful that Ducati had to bolt aerodynamic winglets onto it just to keep it stable. Like a fighter jet. On a road. Production numbers are tiny, and when you buy one, you don't just get the bike, you get a special package, collector items, accessories, the whole ceremony around ownership. That's what these buyers are paying for. The performance is almost a bonus. The Brough Superior Lawrence, named after T.E. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia. The historical figure, the guy from the movie, the one who basically lived on a motorcycle until it killed him. The bike is built with titanium, aluminum, hand finishing on parts most manufacturers would just stamp out of a machine. Brough makes barely any of these. We're talking single digits in some years, and the people who buy them aren't really buying motorcycles. They're buying objects. The Lawrence sits in a garage next to a vintage Patek and a Picasso, and it belongs there. That's the energy. Vintage prestige with futuristic craftsmanship. It's the only bike on this list that genuinely earns the Rolls-Royce comparison. The Aston Martin AMB 001. Aston Martin partnered with Brough Superior to build this thing, and the result is a hyperbike that looks like it rolled off a concept car stage and forgot to ask permission to be real. Sculpted carbon fiber bodywork, exposed engineering, aggressive styling that's basically a Valkyrie supercar, shrunk down and put on two wheels. Production was kept ridiculously low on purpose. Aston wasn't trying to sell motorcycles, they were trying to sell collectibles. And it worked. Most owners never ride them. They sit in climate-controlled garages and appreciate in value while their owners post photos of them on Instagram from a yacht. That's the AMB 001. Art piece first, motorcycle second. MV Agusta, Superveloce Serie Oro. Pull up a picture of this thing right now. Pause the video. Look at it. Most people who know motorcycles will tell you it's one of the most beautiful bikes ever built. Full stop. MV Agusta took the styling cues from their classic 1970s racers and rebuilt them with modern engineering underneath. Gold accented wheels, carbon fiber bodywork, hand finishing on every piece that touches air. And the production numbers are limited enough that these bikes basically appreciate the moment they leave the factory. Collector grade, the kind of motorcycle people buy as an investment and ride twice a year on a sunny weekend. The Confederate FA-13 combat bomber. This thing doesn't look like a motorcycle. It looks like someone disassembled a B-1 bomber and tried to figure out how few parts they needed to make it move. Exposed billet aluminum, aircraft-grade components, industrial, mechanical. There's no bodywork hiding anything. Every bolt, every weld, every piece of suspension is just there, on display. Confederate makes almost nothing in terms of volume. Each bike is essentially handcrafted. And the people who buy them aren't buying transportation. They're buying sculpture. You park one of these in a glass-walled garage in Aspen and it becomes a conversation piece. That's the entire product strategy. And it works because nothing else on the road looks like it. BMW M1000R. This is what happens when BMW's motorsport division, the same people behind the M5 and the M3, decides to build a superbike. Racing aerodynamics. Carbon fiber components. Electronics so advanced, they basically ride the bike for you when things get dangerous. And acceleration that will rearrange your internal organs if you're not paying attention. But here's why wealthy buyers actually like it. It's still a BMW, which means it's still reliable, still usable. You can ride it to lunch on Sunday and not worry about whether it'll start. A lot of bikes on this list are basically art. The M1000RR is the one a billionaire actually uses, quietly, without anyone noticing. That's the German way. Curtis the One. This is the bike that's trying to figure out what comes next. It's electric, it's silent, and it looks like nothing else on this list or any other list or any motorcycle that has ever existed. Exposed aluminum structure, minimalist design, a riding position that basically forces you to commit to the aesthetic before you even start moving. Curtis didn't try to make an electric motorcycle that looks like a normal motorcycle. They threw out the entire idea of what a motorcycle should look like and started over. Instant acceleration from the electric drivetrain, nearly silent operation. And the design language is closer to industrial sculpture than transportation. For a certain kind of billionaire, the kind who's already bored of gas engines, already bored of carbon fiber, already bored of the whole conversation, this is what's next. The Harley-Davidson CVO Road. Glide ST CVO stands for Custom Vehicle Operations. It's Harley's in-house division for buyers who want a Harley, but more. Premium paintwork, upgraded engines, big infotainment systems built right into the dash, advanced rider tech, and then, because the CVO buyer is never satisfied, most of them get customized again after purchase. Custom audio systems, custom wheels, hand-finished detailing. You see these parked outside steakhouses in Scottsdale, outside cigar lounges in Dallas. It's the bike a self-made guy buys when he wants to ride to lunch and have everyone know he's there. Not exotic, not subtle, but undeniably a status symbol in its own world. And that world is enormous. Norton V4SV. Norton is one of those names. If you know motorcycle history, you know Norton. They've been around forever, they've won everything worth winning at some point, and they nearly disappeared multiple times. The V4SV is their comeback play. Handmade in small numbers, carbon fiber bodywork, premium suspension, race-bred performance. But the real product here is the badge. You're not just buying a superbike, you're buying a piece of British motorcycle history that almost didn't survive. Collectors love that story. Rarity plus heritage plus modern engineering. That combination is exactly what makes something appreciate. This is the one that ends up at auction in 15 years. Kawasaki Ninja H2R. This bike should probably be illegal. In a lot of places, it actually is. The engine is supercharged. And not lightly supercharged. Kawasaki literally pulled in their aerospace division to help build it. The same people who make jet engines helped design this motorcycle. The result is a bike with carbon fiber winglets bolted to the side because without them, it would lift off the ground. It's not road legal. You can't ride it to dinner. You buy it, you put it on a trailer, you take it to a track, and you find out if you're brave enough to twist the throttle all the way. For a billionaire collector, the H2R isn't about riding. It's about owning a piece of engineering that pushed past what motorcycles were supposed to be capable of. It's a statement. The statement is, yes, this exists, and I have one. The Nmoto Nostalgia. Inspired by the legendary BMW R7 concept from the 1930s, the original was an Art Deco masterpiece that basically disappeared into a crate for decades. And Moto took that design language and rebuilt it as a modern motorcycle. Custom aluminum body panels. Premium finishes throughout. Every single one is hand-fabricated, which means production is essentially as slow as one craftsman's hands can move. People call it the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, but honestly that comparison undersells it. Rolls-Royce makes thousands of cars a year. Nmoto makes a handful of these. Period. If you wanted a motorcycle that looks like it was pulled out of a 1930s film and somehow runs perfectly in 2026, this is the only one in the world.